Hello, everyone. It's Debra Poneman, founder of Yes to Success Seminars, where we share knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life, ageless, anti-aging for your brain, body, and future, and the Awake Method, because it's time for all of us to wake up. And I am coming to you live from the Art of Living Ashram in beautiful Saint-Mathieu-de-Parc. It's French here because it's outside of Montreal, where it is a balmy, oh, 3 degrees. And there's my ring light being reflected. Yes, I am telling you, it is 3 degrees right now with about 500 of my closest friends. I am enjoying the weather and the great spiritual master and renowned global humanitarian Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. And I've been on a silent meditation retreat for the last week, and you are just about the first people I'm talking to in over a week. Oh, and I'm here in the ashram office because it's the only place in the entire ashram that has usable internet. Thus, I blurred the background. Anyway, well, thinking about what I wanted to share with you today, 4 days before 2026 officially begins. Wow, how could it be 25 years into the 21st century already? Wasn't it just the year 2000, like yesterday? Anyway, so my question to you is, why is it that we set our goals and create our vision for the next 365 days at the beginning of the year? Well, I guess the answer is somewhat self-evident, but maybe not. It's a time of new beginnings. We say goodbye to the old and we plant the seeds for the new. I mean, you don't really have to set your intentions at the beginning of January. You could set them for the year anytime you want, all year long, and they'll still manifest if you don't contradict your desires with words or thoughts of doubt and fear and negativity. But there's an energy right now, an elevated energy for manifestation. It's like if you plant a seed too late or too early during the planting season, it will still grow. But if you plant it at just the perfect time, just when the farmer's almanac tells you to do it, it will grow more fully and more gloriously. In these last few days of the year and the first few days of the year, I know you'll be too busy at a New Year's Day gathering to write your goals on New Year's. Maybe you can do it that day. But it's the perfect time to plant your seeds for what you'd like to grow in the coming years. But first, we have to prepare the soil. And how do we do that? Well, for starters, by not complaining about what a horrible year 2025 was. I know I'm not the first to admit that this was a year to remember. We saw things that really shook us to the core, things we couldn't imagine would be happening in our country. I happen to be from the US and around the world in the year 2025, which I am not going to enumerate. I know that you know them all too well, and I'll leave that to the news media. I'm sure they'll do a fine job for us at the end of the year. And also, there were things going on in our personal lives. I lost 3 of my dearest friends in 2025. But we made it through, and there's a lot to be grateful for. Maybe the challenges have made us more resilient, more compassionate, wiser. Maybe we've grown in our trust in the perfection of the universe, even when there doesn't seem to be anything perfect about it. Maybe we went deep and found strength we didn't know we had. I love the quote from Bob Marley, who said, "You never know how strong you are until strong is the only choice." And we very well might be called on to be even stronger and to go even deeper in 2026, as no one really knows what's in store. We just don't. We don't have a crystal ball. Just like all the psychics made this and that prediction for 2025, and how did that work out for us? But we do know this, that what we put our attention on is what manifests in our life. It's not the theory of attraction, it's the law of attraction. So if we start off the new year rehashing all of what was wrong in 2025, that is the foundation we're laying for 2026. That is the soil in which we're planting the seeds. If we put our attention solely on the pain and the suffering, we get more pain and suffering. If we put our attention on the good, then that is the soil in which we will be planting our intentions for 2026. And by the law of attraction, we will have a much better chance of having a glorious year. So let's do an exercise together. And what I'd like us all to do is to put our attention on what was rich and wonderful in 2025. I want you to take out a piece of paper and start writing down all the gifts you received in that powerful year full of growth, and where we were all asked to call forth our best selves. And start by writing at the top something like, "Thank you, universe," or "Thank you, God," to the God of your understanding, or "Thank you, Spirit, Source, Creator." And then list everything that you're grateful for from 2025. Thank you for my friend's peaceful passing. Thank you for the remission of my brother-in-law's cancer. I don't have a brother-in-law with cancer, but just for example. Thank you for the progress I made in my personal growth. Thank you for the realization that I had to leave my relationship and the strength I had to do it. Thank you for when I spoke up at work and told my boss that this is not working out for me, and the wondrous result that came from it. Thank you that I lost my job. Because if you give thanks, the blessing in it will reveal itself. And the sooner you give thanks, the more quickly the blessing will reveal itself. And there is always a blessing in the bigger picture, even if it makes no sense in the tiny camera lens that you're looking at that incident through now. So take a few minutes to make your list. Pause the video while you're writing. Welcome back. Now, doesn't that feel good? Higher vibration rather than talking about the horrors. And that's one of our jobs. Our jobs, we are bringers of light. We've taken on that job. You wouldn't be listening to this vlog if you weren't a bringer of light. Your job is to raise a vibration on the planet. And as you just saw, 2025 was a magical year in many ways. And by the way, again, I'm not saying that we should deny the incidents that need remedying from 2025, or saying now we shouldn't continue to take action for justice, for democracy, for equality, for goodness, for tolerance, to end hate. Because that's not putting our attention on negativity. No, we should take action. But what we don't want to do is spend our time continually rehashing the horribleness with our friends, because then all we're doing is being tuning forks for horribleness to be attracted into our lives. We attract into our life what we vibrate. So instead, use the power of your attention to discuss solutions and look for the good, and always find a way to come from a place of love. Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, who I said is the guru here, that I've just had the honor to spend the last 8 days with, actually, he once said, "Nothing you do from a platform of anger will ever bring good results." And you'll be much more effective in offering your solution when you do speak up and offer solutions from a place of love. As Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And if you come from a place of love, you'll also be contributing to a future world that will be more filled with love. Everything is energy. You know that. And as they shared the science in the movie, What the Bleep Do We Know, our thoughts can actually affect matter. The scientists in What the Bleep share that if we see the world as a horrible, fearful place, it becomes more of a horrible, fearful place by the power of our attention. If we look for the love and see the world as a loving place, we infuse love into the fabric of our planet. If we look for the grace in even the darkest places, we'll find it, and our finding it and giving thanks for it will again create more grace. What we put our attention on grows in our lives. And the more that grace and love and compassion grow in our lives, the more we become lighthouses of grace and love for the world. But back to our goals for 2026. So now I'm going to sign off, and I suggest that you take some time to write your goals for the coming year. We've together created the fertile soil in which to plant them. And remember to set your goals or intentions. I don't nitpick over what you call them. I know some people say, oh, attention is more spacious or something, whatever. I just say, put your order into life now, because this is the time when the cosmic order takers, all the angels and spirit guides and helpers, are at your service. And don't forget to think big. Remember, you wouldn't be given a desire if you didn't have the ability to fulfill it. The Creator, infinite intelligence, is not a trickster and would not give you a desire and then say, but ha ha ha, joke's on you. I'm not going to give you the ability to fulfill it. No, that's not how it works. And remember to set the goals beyond the great new relationship and the perfect apartment and the top podcasts and 50 new high-end clients and a best-selling book. Remember to set your goals for more joy, more freedom, more honesty, deeper connections, living in alignment with your highest truth, more openness to the unknown, more certainty that we live in a benevolent universe, and all will be well. And this too shall pass. And don't forget your intentions for a world at peace where everyone thrives and everyone has the good that they deserve, because we're human beings. So just visualize it, wish it, write it down for every sentient being on the planet. And before I go, I also want to tell you that I wish you a very blessed and glorious 2026. And remember, no matter what is going on around you, the one thing you always have control over is your own inner dialogue, your own reactions, your own thinking. And it is your most powerful tool to create a great life. As the renowned psychiatrist and psychotherapist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl said in his book, A Man's Search for Meaning, everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's gratitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. In the days and months to come, remember, at every given moment, you always have the freedom to choose your own way. Listen to your guidance as the days unfold. Don't force the answers. Let go of control and see what the divine has in store for you. Go with the flow. Say, let thy will be done. Not my will, but thy will. And all you want will come to you. But you need to remember, it will come in God's timing, not necessarily your timing. So be patient, and also set your goal for magical surprises and synchronicities that guide you to your best and highest 2026. That's a goal I'm going to set for this year. And two more things. Please join me for my New Year's event on the morning of Sunday, January 4th. 3 hours we're going to be together. It's going to be a powerful way to use the magic of group intention to create a glorious 2026. There's an email above that you can write to, and I believe it's their support at debraponeman.com, and you will be sent the details. I offer many events every year, and this is so many people's favorite because it lays the foundation for magic in the coming year. And it's just wonderful being together in a high vibration group from all over the world. So I hope to see you on the 4th. And with that, I'm also going to set my goal to do what my friend Rosie Brewer recommends in this powerful poem she wrote that I believe I've shared with you before, but it's worth repeating. And here's what our darling Rosie wrote, and I invite you to embrace it as I am going to embrace it in the coming year. And here it goes. Here we go. Be powerful. Be huge. Be grand. Be awesome and amazing and extraordinary. Be mighty. Be gloriously proud. Go for broke, smash the ceiling, stand tall, stand taller, speak up, speak out, be loud, be louder, be seen, be heard, be gorgeous, be messy, be complicated, be vibrant, be different, be unique, be bold and audacious, and wear your scars like freaking stardust. Make mistakes, fall down, get up, fall down, get up, fall up. Stand up and flutter your gorgeous wings. Take risks, take chances, make choices, good choices, bad choices, a million plus choices. Declutter, recycle, floss. Love yourself mightily. Love yourself with every fiber of and in your being. Live your truth, wear your truth, speak your truth. Walk away from bad. Walk away from toxic. Walk away from anyone who doesn't get you or love you or want you or think that you're the whole freaking enchilada. Walk away from folks who wish you well, but not too well. Walk away from anyone who demeans you, belittles you, hurts you, harms you, begrudges you, your joy and happiness and success. Walk away from the nasty and the cruel and the unkind. Live your life on your terms. Cower to no one. Do not crawl or beg for less than. Do not settle for mediocrity. Do not hope for the best. Demand the best. Do not believe for 1 second that you are not worthy, deserving, lovable, necessary, important, vital, blindingly beautiful, and fierce. Really fierce. Do not go back to the end of the line. Start a new line. Period. Beginning of story. And may 2026 be the beginning of your story. Sending you love, and make this coming year a glorious one.